Hello and welcome to Norwood Digest, NCM's news magazine show. I'm your host, Jack McCarthy, and I am joined by a special guest today, a 2013 graduate of the school on the hill, Norwood High School, used to do the news here, and now we're going to find out what she's been up to since. So, hello, Helena Aldwehi. I almost got that right.
Aldwehi.
Aldwehi.
Yeah, almost got it.
I'm an Irishman. I can't do these things. So, first, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? So I recently graduated from Bridgewater State University with my master's in clinical psych. And I have created and founded ThoughtswithH, which is a community wellness brand. And I focus on normalizing conversations around mental health. And
so one of the things I've seen that you're famous for, if you will, using sticky pads.
Yes, my sticky notes. So I use 3x3 sticky notes that I write some like inspirational sayings on, and I anonymously sign it by -H so that it's, you know, people don't really know who H is. And I go to a curated background where usually a sunset or a beautiful background if I'm traveling, and I just post it online.
And so what's the purpose?
So the purpose is, so my motto is we can't help everybody, but everybody can help somebody. And I do feel like everybody goes through something, and there's this stigma around mental health where, you know, it's not really talked about as much. And the reality of it is everybody goes through something. So if I can just normalize somebody to just know that they're not alone when going through something, that's my goal. So sometimes these little sayings, they're not like, you know, it's not like a book, but it's a little saying that may go a long way to someone.
And basically, it's got to fit on a sticky note.
It's got to fit on a sticky note.
So give me some examples if you can. So I should have told you I was going to ask
Yeah, no, that's okay. So one of my favorites is day one or one day, you decide. There's so many. You did put me on the spot here. I told you one of my favorites is we can't help everybody, but everybody can help somebody. What else? You are bigger than what is making you anxious. That is one of my favorites. I actually posted that today.
There's one about if a goal is hard to get to, or?
Yeah, if you don't change the plan, don't change your goal, change the plan. Also, like, just because it's a slow process doesn't mean it won't happen. So there's more. I could go on, and I'm sure I'll think about more throughout this process. And people will quit on you every day. It's important to wake up and not quit on yourself. That's one of my favorite ones too. And something I do is I've been doing community events where I actually bring a lot of positive affirmations around, and I sit and I love to see which ones speak to people. So I have a take a quote, leave a quote section that I usually do. So it's nice to see what people relate to.
What kind of events have you gone to? Is it like a pop-up thing?
Yeah, so I do a lot of pop-up events, and I do them through all aspects of wellness. So whether it's like fitness, health, I do a lot of collaborations. I actually have one coming up this Saturday in Norwood at the juice bar, the Maha Juice Bar.
I'll be there.
Yeah, that I'm really excited about. Yeah. So I usually like bring my table. If it's a place that they have like customers, I'll bring a quote board. So I ask people like, please leave a quote behind. And then I usually leave it for that business that I do the event at.
Oh, that's cool. Where else have you gone?
So I've done different locations of F45 gyms, done Fire Cycle. I just did one with Nutri Meals, which is like a meal prep company. I did one recently on World Mental Health Day with Lululemon. That was really nice. Lululemon hit me up. What else have I done? Fire Cycle, Studio in Waltham. And I'm sure that there's more that I have not thought about. I did one with Kiki not too long ago here in Norwood.
And so what's the goal?
The goal is to normalize conversations around mental health.
And we talked about, you have a LLC right now.
I have an LLC, yes.
And you're trying to
so I'm in the goal
transition, I guess?
A possible transition into a nonprofit, so then that way I can take this project, so you will, kind of like this mission I'm on, and kind of just branch it out a lot more. I want to create quote walls everywhere that I can. Like, I want to get into schools and anywhere that kind of is a space for me to share mental health awareness. I would love to be there. I also do these mental health calendars that keep you on track for inspiration throughout the year. And some of them have like little quote sayings. I'll have to show you one. I don't know if you saw it in the
I
desk.
did.
Yeah.
That's where I got the one that I gave you.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'll have to give you one of your own. But that's really one of the main goals, is just to spread this message around.
So it costs you money to make these things.
It definitely costs me money.
And so how do you recover that? Or
Well, I work a full-time job as a mental health therapist. We don't make as much as we probably should, but
That's
I do.
for sure.
Yeah, so I do take that money that I make though, and I put it into my business. It's something that I love to do, and I found my passion, and now it's just like, how can I find a way to make this sustainable? Like, I'd love to grow this team and spread the message further.
Okay, well, this is fantastic. And you're so young to be doing something, this big, if you will.
Thank you. I don't feel that young. Just it was
Trust me.
over 10 years ago that I sat in this very studio.
I know, well. But you're very young, let me
Thank
put it
you.
that way.
Thank you.
Because I'm very old.
No, oh my gosh.
What else do you want people to know about this?
So what do I want people to know? If you have a place that you want to do an event with me, please reach out to thoughtswithh@gmail.com. I also have a website. You can go on my Instagram at thoughtswithh. If you have any ideas, I'm here for it. Norwood High, I would love to do a quote wall here for my very first actual quote wall. Like, I've been limited to quote boards, so they've been limited, there's a limit. I want to create a space where kids can look forward to, like, I want to go there and write a quote or just read these quotes.
So how did you come up with the idea to base it around sticky notes?
So I actually worked at a dentist's office. It was like 2015, and maybe even like longer, like after that. Anyways, I worked at a dentist's office, and the vibes weren't the greatest. So I just decided, like, I want to write this positive note to get people to check their energy before coming to the front desk. And I would like post it on my Snapchat, and over time, my friends were like, these quotes go away within 24 hours. And I didn't do backgrounds to the quotes at that time. Like, I would put it on the same table every day. And then over time, I just got more creative, I guess. Like, I had a little spark that I was like, okay, I was grateful enough to travel, so I would take these sticky notes and be prepared and just do it ahead of time. Now I have a little more of a system, so I kind of try to plan it ahead of time. But that's how it works. I have a lot of people who send me quotes, which is nice. I read a lot and I find quotes, I make them up. I definitely do not own all my quotes, but I own all my pictures and the writing and everything behind it.
So do you use it in your work too?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So one of the places I did an event at is in Fenway High School, where I did like an assembly with the kids, and we actually created our own positive affirmations. They picked their own, and we like went around and talked about it a little bit, which was nice to see, because when I was in high school, we didn't really talk about mental health that much. Yeah, like it wasn't even till now that I'm like so grateful that I can normalize it for people. So it's a good place to be in. I hope that if it just reaches one person, that it makes a difference.
It's like the starfish on the beach.
Yeah. No,
Which
exactly.
is one of my favorite little stories, but anyway. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
No.
This has been great. It's been great getting to know you, and just watching how passionate you are when you're talking about this is really, I don't know, it just made me feel better.
Oh, awesome. I've done my one person for the day.
You can count today as a success.
Yeah, thank you. This made my day.
All right, well, me too. All right, thanks for being with us, and we'll be back with more Digest.
Yo!
Welcome back to Norwood Digest, and joining me now is Alvin Cologne, and I hope I said that right.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Who's going to be opening a studio down at the Winsmith Mill after the first of the year. But let's get to know him a little first. So tell us where you're from.
Oh, well, how you guys doing? I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, Roxbury.
Okay. Yeah. And you went to school in Boston?
Yeah, I went to all the public schools in Boston.
And so, when did you first become interested in art?
I started doing art as a little boy. I was probably 11 years old. and it was a group of guys like tagging on the streets and stuff, and that was like my first inspiration into art. And I took it from doing vandalism to actually paying close attention to becoming a great artist.
So how'd you make that jump from vandalism to being a real artist?
Yeah, so it started in about 7th grade. Me and a group of guys, we were all growing up together, same neighborhoods. We had an art teacher, her name was Miss Janie, and she kept us after school because she knew we were kind of like going back to neighborhoods that weren't quite safe for us, And she saw the talent we had, so she kept us after school, and she did all sorts of projects with us. And one day she was asked from the principal if she could find who was tagging on all over the school. And so she came up with this brilliant idea to get us all after school, and she said there was going to be a graffiti competition on the chalkboard. And she was like, whoever wins the competition, their class gets a pizza party. And so we're all excited, doing all our best work on the chalkboard. And next week we all get called out of class into the principal's office, and there was Miss Janie waiting for us. And she was like, I bet you boys are wondering why you're here right now.
Yeah, I would be.
So she's like, well, you're not in trouble, but I matched all your names on the chalkboard with all the names all around the school. And that's how it started. From there on, she kept us after, and she was teaching us how to apply ourselves as professional artists someday, and hopefully to go to a college for art.
And now you've done murals all over the city right now. And
Oh, yeah.
how'd you get started with that?
It started with Miss Janie.
Okay.
So she started a nonprofit organization, and our name was the Young Graffiti Masters. And shortly after that, after she started it, we had a bunch of mural projects. So a lot of people were excited to meet us and to have us do a mural at their school. So we did, one of the first murals we did was at the James W. Hennigan School.
I know that school.
And I actually attended there too.
Okay.
And we did that mural, and it was this big, about like 70 feet mural. It took like 7 of us to create this piece. And it was like a forest scene, and then we had words on it like peace, love, positive things. So that was like the first one. Then the second one was at the Agassiz
Yeah, I know that one.
in Jamaica Plain.
Yeah,
So that one was also a large one. It was facing the field.
I've seen that one.
You seen that one?
Yeah,
Yeah, so many years ago.
yeah. So how did you somehow you got, I don't want to say mixed up, but tied into the mayor, Tom Menino?
Oh, so because it was around 92, 93 when we started the program. And that's when Menino was in office. I think he was in office maybe 91. And Ms. Janie, her husband, they both deceased, Ms. Janie and her husband. But her husband at the time, he was the superintendent of the schools.
Oh, no way.
So he had a lot of different connections. And
Sure.
He got us together with the mayor's department, and they took us under their wing right away. And they opened up the doors, and we had a show at the State House in 1995. It was called Graffiti in the House. So they displayed all our canvases on easels all around the State House.
Oh, wow. You're not going to believe this, but I saw that.
You did? Wow.
In 1995, I had an office in the State House. I
Wow,
worked
look
for
at
the
that.
Secretary of State.
Awesome.
So I used to always, whatever was in there, I would, out of curiosity, go see it.
Awesome. So you knew Marcy Jackson.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So Marcy she kind of adopted me as like her, like a student.
Yeah.
And she would look after me and make sure that I was in school doing the right thing, and good people.
Wow, small world.
Yeah.
So now you're going to be your gallery's not the first thing that people of Norwood are going to see that you've done.
No,
Because you've done a couple.
I've done a few things. Yeah.
down at Winsmith, right?
I did at Winsmith. I just did 2 murals there, but I went over 2 murals that were already existing. And before that, I did a mural at the Workman's Hall,
Okay.
and I did another one at D&D Auto. And for the most part, a lot of my murals are inside restaurants. So I have one in Patriot Place. It's called Achilitos Taqueria.
Yeah.
And so the whole entire inside is all wrapped
Wow,
up
you-
with my art. Yeah.
That's cool. Dude, there's a gentleman. He's got a bookstore in Dedham, Blue Bunny.
Blue Bunny.
I'm trying to think of his name, and it's escaped me. But he's an illustrator of children's books, and
Awesome.
but he does murals too. And I met him out in Auburn, Mass. We were building a new school, and before he was famous, he had done, because he's pretty famous, he had done a mural in the old school, and so they asked him to come back and do one for the new school. And guy was tremendous, and I feel horrible I can't remember his name.
I want to see it.
Yeah, well, I can probably set that up for you. So tell us about what the gallery is going to be like.
Okay, so and before that too, I one of my biggest accomplishments was in about 2007, 2008. I opened up a gallery, which is a lot bigger than the one I'm opening now. It was a gallery / studios. It was called Paris Street Gallery. It was in Everett.
Okay.
And I had that place for about 8 years, and I was able to do so much with it. You know, I opened up art studios for people to, like, there was music studios, there was artists, photographers. I even had a voice actor in one of the studios. And then it opened up to this big gallery, and we had everything there from art shows to weddings, fundraisers.
Weddings.
The city would use it for their fundraisers, and I did that for many years. And then you know, they put the casino in town, and so on and so forth. Not to get into too deep into that, but I took a break from it so that I could focus more on doing my art again, because I was just doing art shows and you know, just being the director there, which I love and I enjoyed it. I would love to do it again someday.
So now tell us about the gallery.
So the new gallery, it's a small little pump house. It was actually a pump house at the Winsmith Mill. And so I said, wouldn't this place be cool to, like, design a small art gallery in it? It's maybe about 15 feet by 15.
Okay, so when you go in that driveway, is it the first building?
It's the building that's
right next to the
right
water?
on the pond. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
know the building.
when you start to take the left to go around,
Yeah.
it's right there.
Yep.
Yeah, so I called it Pump House Gallery.
Nice, makes sense.
Simple. You know, so you'll be able to come in there, and I'll be offering paint nights, graffiti workshops for adults and children, art shows. You'll be able to, if you're an artist and you're interested in displaying your work there, you can also email me for that as well.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And so when we're thinking after the first of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hopefully.
And so we were talking before, you have a daughter that's 13.
Yeah, my daughter's 13. Yeah.
And does she have the?
Oh, the
Yeah.
art? Yeah, she does. Because her mom is also talented. I went to art school, but her mom did it, and she's still talented. And some, you know, my daughter's just a natural. I would take her with me on different projects when I'm doing, because one thing I do is I do city projects where we do like 6-week programs, a mural project. So within that 6 weeks, I'll take 3 weeks of just inside the workshop and teaching them how to sketch and lay out their design for a mural. Then the rest of the 3 weeks, we'll lay down the mural.
And so where's that studio?
No, that's something that just happens. Yeah, with the city.
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
With Boston. I haven't done it here yet. I would love to do it in Norwood. I did actually in Dedham at one of the elementary schools. I did a graffiti workshop with them. My first workshop of graffiti.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it's a big deal.
But then you got to be careful because then they're going to go out and do it, right?
Oh, I told them, I was like, you guys go outside, start tagging? I'm just playing. But it was fun.
They would do that. But, well, it sounds like, so tell me the schools you went to. I'm curious in Boston. So I went to the Mozart for kindergarten.
Wow. Right there in on Center?
No. It was on Beach Street in Rossi.
Okay.
What's the one on Center? Oh, yeah. It used to be the Shaw, but I think they
Kennedy? I think it's the Kennedy.
I don't. They've changed it. I've been out. I moved here when did I move here? 87. So a lot has changed.
Yeah, I went to the when we first. I was born in Connecticut, Bridgeport, but when I came to Boston, I was about 5 years old, and first school I went to was the Agassiz.
Yeah, in JP.
Agassiz, then the Hennigan. Then I went to Martin Luther King School, and that's where I met Miss Janie and all my best friends that I'm still friends with them today.
Oh, that's good.
And then after that, I went to Hyde Park High. And yeah, and then Mass Art.
Oh, you did go to Mass Art. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't venture far, but you went to some good. Like Mass Art's a good place.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and yeah, I still have friends from there as well.
Is there any other, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, what do you call that? Different types of art. I know you do murals. You do stuff on canvas. You do
Oh, yeah. So being an artist, I would say I think everyone should do this. Practice different mediums.
Mediums,
That's probably
that's
the
the word
word
I
you're
was
looking
looking
for. Right? So practicing different mediums actually enhances your ability to create. So I'll give you an example. Me as a painter, I also do spray painting. So I have the graffiti background, and I mix both of them, and I do mixed media, is what I call it. And it just gives you a lot more texture on your canvas or your whatever surface you're painting on.
Do you ever do any sculpting or?
I've done engraving.
Okay, etching.
I haven't done any sculpting yet. I would love to. I actually envision myself as the tree trunks. I want to do like with the saw.
Oh yeah.
Big chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
And create like a bird or something. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
You just need the space for it.
Yeah. And count your fingers after you find it. Well, listen, this has been great. We've learned a lot. And what's it called?
Pump House Gallery.
Pump House Gallery. Look for it opening in January, and come back
Yes.
and tell us when you're going to open. We'll let the
Definitely.
folks know when they can go down there.
Thank you guys very much.
All right. So thanks for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we'll be back with Jerry Slater with Your Town at Work.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Jerry Slater, and welcome to another episode of Your Town at Work. Today, we're going to devote our entire episode to one of the major initiatives going on in town these days, and that is the Comprehensive Plan, formerly known as the Master Plan. And we're lucky to be joined today by Sarah Dixon and Shannon Greenwell. Sarah, as everybody knows, is the Director of Community Development here in Norwood, and Shannon is the Chair of the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee. So, Sarah, first off, let me ask you, Comprehensive Plan, formerly Master Plan, what is it and what isn't covered in the Master Plan?
Sure. Well, thanks for having us on to talk about this really important project. A comprehensive plan is a visioning document, essentially, for any community. It typically covers the next 10 years, what you'd like to see accomplished in your community within that next 10 years. It includes major sections, housing, public infrastructure, economic development, but what it's not is any particular set of zoning changes. It's not any one project or development idea. It's really meant to be a broad view. It includes a lot of community engagement. It's really a document by the people and for the people, right? People get to contribute their voices and work together to decide what their vision is for the community that they love, what they want to grow, what they want to preserve, and set that forth to guide our actions in the next 10 years.
So Shannon, the committee is meeting, I don't know how often they meet, but what have they accomplished thus
Sure.
far, and what's ahead for the committee?
Yeah, certainly. So the committee has been meeting monthly, and we really got going earlier this fall. A lot of what we're starting to do is really taking a look at what is the information that we have currently that we can give to our consultant. What are the plans that we've already put together? What are the reports? What is our understanding and experience of Norwood? So it's been a lot of brainstorming of where are places that are important to you in Norwood? What are things that you like to engage with? What are some challenges that you experience in your daily life in Norwood? And just starting to try and collect that so that we can be prepared to go out to the larger stakeholder group. Once we start hearing from our community members, we're going to get things like, I like outdoor space. We've heard a lot about outdoor recreation came up at Norwood Day. And then it's going to be our job to work with the consultant to understand if outdoor recreation space is a priority in your community, what are the tools that we have available to us over the next 10 years that we want to make sure that every time you're thinking about a project that's in this lane, we have heard from the people in our community that outdoor recreation is something that's important.
All right, so with that, I think that's ending on a great note. Reminding everyone, website, the meetings are open of the Comprehensive Steering Committee, monthly meetings, and there's an open house coming up on December 10th. So hope to see, I know I'll be there. I hope to see everybody there. And with that, Sarah and Shannon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And once again, this has been Your Town at Work, and I'm Jerry Slater.
Yo!
Hello, and if you see Bethany King next to me, you know what we're doing. It's a CMS update. Bethany from WT Rich, what's been going on?
I'll start out like I always do, a lot. We're doing some finishes. So fourth floor, we're almost done up there. We're working our way down. First floor, finishing up some what's called rough-in in the wall and in the ceilings. We got some exterior site work still happening. The exterior facades going up. We got some temp heat keeping us warm in here now this year. We're actually wrapped in this year, so it's staying pretty warm. So a lot going on.
And we're in the middle of the media center.
Correct. Yep.
So what's going to be behind us?
So this is like the librarian station and their desk here, the media center circulation desk. We got NCM studio actually over next to us here as well, and the computer labs over in this area as well. So this is a big wide open space with a big window system behind us.
That's crazy. You know what I want to do? I want to go up to that fourth floor and look at a classroom that's almost done.
Okay, we can do that.
All right, let's do that. We'll be back right after we move there. So much to the chagrin of the camera crew here, we walked up 2 more flights of stairs to get to the room we were in last time, which is a sped room.
Correct, yep.
So it looks almost done.
Yeah.
What's left to do?
So pretty much all that's left in this room is final cleaning and then what we call whiting out the ceilings. So if you look up at the ceiling tiles right now, there's some that are in that have speakers in them or in the sprinkler heads. But everything that's left out, we're going to fill in once we finish our final inspections above ceiling. So that's the next step, is those quality control inspections, and then have it looked at and close it all up.
And lock the door, as you said.
Literally, keep people out, yep.
Yeah. But, you know, the bathroom, this is a sped class. Not every classroom has a bathroom.
Correct, yeah.
But all the fixtures are in there now.
Yep, the fixtures are in, grab bars are in, we're waiting on some accessories, but that's pretty much it.
And so we're in the B section now, or the A?
Right now we're in C.
C, sorry.
Yeah, fourth floor C.
I only had 4 to choose from. And so this is the furthest along?
Yes, so we started in Zone C, we're working our way to A, and right now we're actually finished doing the finishes, so millwork and the marker boards, we're doing that from floor down. So we're going to finish the 4th floor, and then we're moving down to the 3rd.
It's trickle-down economics.
Yeah, yep.
Sort of. All right, anything else we should know?
No, we're just chugging along here. At this point, for the next few months, it's going to be repeat, and work our way down to get finish and then do some startups for equipment. So I think Luke can talk about that one next.
All right. Now, I probably won't see you, so Merry Christmas.
Thank you, you too.
All right. We'll be back with Luke Apone from Vertex, and I said it right. I'm happy with myself. And we'll be back. As promised, back with Luke Apone from Vertex. What's going to happen next?
As Bethany mentioned, we're in kind of the repetitive task phase, right? So finishes are wrapping up on the 4th floor. They're ongoing on the 2nd and 3rd floor. We should see finishes wrap up on the 4th floor in the next month, and then we'll see them progress down the building and then begin on the 4th floor, I'd say, in the next month or so. On the 1st floor is where we'll start to see some different activities start to show up with the specialty spaces. We have the gym down there. Gym equipment is supposed to arrive in the next couple weeks, and then that'll get installed, and we'll head right into flooring, which is scheduled to be installed in early to mid-February. The other specialty space down there, the auditorium, I think painting is ongoing in there now, so we'll see millwork and some finishes start to arrive there in the next 30 days as well.
Speaking of the auditorium, Chief Inspector Brian Richardson had asked me to check on when are the seats going to be available for the auditorium.
So the seats are probably one of the last things that happens, I'd say, in early spring.
Okay. Brian, did you get that? Hold them accountable. Write it down, put it on your calendar.
He'll be out here checking on us. You know he will.
How many people? It seems like there's a lot of people working.
Yeah, we're still in the 100, 120 people on a daily basis out here. And that'll probably continue as the finishes trade start to wrap up. That'll start to slowly decrease, but we'll maintain that for the next few months.
As Bethany said earlier, it's nice and warm in here now.
It is, yep. So yeah, we're running temporary heat. We have temporary units outside the building bringing in heat. We're in the process of starting up the permanent building systems to use those on a temporary basis to maintain the temperature in here throughout the winter.
And how's our schedule?
Very good.
Still on?
Still on.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for being with us. We're going to wrap up this show. And we thank the wonderful guests that we've had. We thank the great crew at NCM. But mostly, we thank you at home for allowing us into your living rooms. Good night. Keep safe. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. And Festivus for the rest of us.